Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X on a Monday. It's Labor Day, so I had the day off. I figured I would be productive and get some more of 2D4X done, which is a 2D4X open source game that I'm working on. That will never be finished, but we're just going to keep working on it forever. Chat helps me sometimes, which is why I say we. There's a GitHub for this. It's post-apocalyptic. It takes place in North America. It's kind of like inspired by Paradox games and Dominions and everything like that. What else do I have to say about it? That's it. We finally pushed to Maine last weekend, I think it was, and this weekend I had big plans to jump in and start working on this next thing, which is going to be a county improvement. You might notice everything's in Spanish. The county improvement is called, it's not showing up here, which is interesting. Oh, no, we don't have it researched. The county improvement is called Equipamiento de Exploración Primitivo. There's my terrible Spanish accent. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyways, it's primitive exploration equipment, scouting equipment. And as I was putting this in, I noticed a bunch of oh man, there's another one. A bunch of the stuff. It was time to fix a bunch of the localization, so we were testing it out and slowly working on that, and it was taking more time than I thought it would take. Of course, that happens every single time I do anything, you know. I say, oh, well, we're going to do this real quick, and then it takes 2 weekends of programming. So I should know at this point that things take a lot longer. But I clicked on this just randomly and noticed that this is not being translated. In fact, it's showing the pre-translated, you know, before it even picks English or Spanish. So let's fix that first. And I pop this open. That is, where are we? Not here. We're in the wrong thing. I thought I opened up the resource. Oh, you know what I did? Is I clicked on it, but I didn't actually open it up because it just opens up the old thing. So this is where we need to be getting some translations to happen. So we need to find where the names of these things are being assigned and tell them to translate. Oh yeah, there was all this crazy shit with the spin. These little things are called like spin boxes or something. Let's find that and let's go fix amount available. I would assume it's going to be at the county name. Is that translated? Well, I guess it's always going to be Portland. Assign resources. We could change this to a method at some point. We could change that to a method. I don't know how required that is. Assign resources to, so we're assigning these to these actual boxes. This is like the actual resources getting assigned here. Oh yeah, I had some, I was thinking about this last night. And I was like, how are we doing some of these things? I don't see where we're assigning the names. I wonder if how does this thing work here? Are these things getting, it's possible they're getting instantiated. I didn't think about that. I guess I could have looked right where we were looking. I don't see. I think the dictionary is in the same order as the resources. So this is all just values, like numbers. This has to be the problem. Update storage labels. There's what we want. That's an old thing. I think it's this one that we want. Yeah, so here it is. And so this is the resource name, and what we need to do, I think, is go tr node period. We need to translate this. We have to force it. Certain stuff you have to force to translate, and other stuff you don't. I think that's what we need to do. Yeah. Let's rerun this and see if that's the case. I'm going to click these other buttons over here. There's like my chat thing. I always got to check to make sure it's working. Did this come through? It did. Hey, at least I can see my YouTube chat. Let's click on here. Let's go to resources. There we go. But there is some other things we need to fix on here, so we might as well fix it. Since we're doing this localization stuff, we might as well fix it. Non-perishable. So this is Spanish that Excel is translating for me. So this Spanish is probably not very good. I'll need to have a real Spanish speaker. Man, of course I get messages when I'm streaming. So I'll have to get a real Spanish speaker to translate this. I probably will need 2 different versions of Spanish, one for Latin America and then one for Spain. Anyways, let's fix these things. So I have this already all prepared here. Let's bring this over. And this is very bright on my face. I guess I could open up my windows too, or my blinds. So natural light. That's what my mom would always say. You need natural light in here, because I was a teenager once, and everything was in the. Oh, there was a close button too. That wasn't translated. So let's see. We need to go back over here. And we need to go to. That was resource panel. And then we need word close. That's an easy one. We need perishable and non-perishable. So these are words that I'm pretty sure I haven't. But you know what? I should probably check. Perishable. Perishable. So we're going to add a word in here. Perishable. And then word non-perishable. And then we're going to go perishable. I was saying yesterday that, it wouldn't be that bad to be a junior programmer and have to do this stuff, in a video game, because this is like pretty brainless. It's pretty easy. Especially you'd probably be getting paid okay. It would get tedious after a while. I use Notepad just to get rid of all things, all formatting. I know you can do it in whatchamafuck, Excel. All right, so that was the first thing that we noticed. That was over here. So these are phrases. So we had perishable, non-perishable. We just fixed that. So let's go phrase. What is this? I'll put that right there. Max perishable storage available. This is kind of a long thing, but whatever. Phrase max non-perishable storage available. Perishable storage. The good thing is, as long as I don't typo these things over here, I can fix this so easily. Max perishable storage available, and then we'll translate these things. This thing does sometimes a little touchy with its selection over there. Okay, save this. What else we got on this page? Portland doesn't need to be translated. That's it. So then we need to go back to this code here. And there should be some where we update these titles. Actually, we don't update these titles. They're always, yeah, they're all right here somewhere. It's probably, yeah, it's right here. So we'll go down these. Oh, you know what? This has a colon at the end. I wonder how that will affect if I do this. Let's see. Let's copy this thing. What is this? Perishable? And what happens if I put a colon at the end? Oh, it bumped it down. Let's see what, oh, now I got two of them. Let's see what happens here. We also need to close this because it has issues with this if it's open, and we might have to, yep, re-import this. I figured this out yesterday, I think, that I was having all sorts of problems. I bet you this needs to be in the text or the Excel document. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, it doesn't know to translate that. And we don't need to have it in Spanish, but right now it's actually easier to figure out what's not getting translated by having it in Spanish. Godot makes it really easy to test out other languages, see how they look and stuff. Yeah, so this we need to either put this phrase, man, every time we do anything, there's like one additional thing that has to be done. I guess we'll put the colon at the end, which is kind of a bummer. And I don't even know. Let's see. I mean, it's got to have the colon. One might have to use a dash or something. This is going to probably screw us later. But where else are we going to use this perishable thing? And then let's go back to here. And that's what we want. And then this is the one we want. This, and we want, get out of here. This, and we don't want that. That's always a problem. And we want this. Word perishable. And then once again, we don't want that thing. If there's that extra line, it won't translate. If there's a new line in there, it won't translate it. And that has caused me issues in the past. We'll save this. We'll close this. We'll re-import this. We'll run this. Or one day, we'll be done with localization. I was kind of bummed it took so long, but then later I was like, you know what? This is gonna, whatever. It's just got to be done. This is very long, but it works. Everything is in Spanish. So that's fixed. So that was something that we just needed to do before we got to the other things. I think I clicked on something over here, and yeah, so there's other things that we gotta fucking might as well do it. Then we also have like amount of construction, amount of building, influence cost, all of these things. It sure would be nice if you can do it with code where you make the text shrink according to the size of its thing, but I don't want to do that. I'm too lazy. The other thing is, so this is something I was thinking about that I actually hadn't really thought about very deeply, but because I wasn't to this part yet. But this county improvement button also needs to show if there's inputs. And what I mean by inputs is like when you're building, currently all of our buildings, when you just build them, the people work there and they produce goods. But the newest thing, our primitive scouting equipment, actually has inputs, which means like resources go in and then scouting equipment comes out. And we don't have that, even the ability to show that on here. And we need to have that ability. So we need to work on this thing a bunch anyways. This is the county improvement button, which we kind of fucked with a little bit yesterday, but we need to make enough room on here. We need to put that in here. So we might as well translate this stuff while we're here. And then we'll also put that in. So we're going to need a couple of things. Well, for the county improvement, so there's two different places where we're going to probably need this. I think when we click on here, well, it will be down here. Yeah, so if we just edit this thing, if we just edit this thing, man, there's so little space for this, though. Well, we're going to have to mess with this a bunch, then. We need to show down here that it takes 5 remnants to make 1 scouting equipment. The other thing I was thinking about this, that what we'll do... so there's a couple of things, actually, that we need to do. We need to rewrite, like, the work thing. There's actually a bunch. It's there's once we fix this, though, then we'll be prepared for when we can have them make guns and bows and shit. I was thinking, I don't think I'm gonna do melee weapons. I think it's all gonna be ranged weapons. Maybe melee, but I don't know. I don't think so. So this is what we're gonna be kind of chopping away with, is this thing right here today. So let's fix the translations that we currently have. Well, let's look at this code, because it looks like we're assigning this stuff in script. Yeah, so this is like the improvement name, the improvement description, and influence cost is hard coded in here. So we'll change that. Yeah, same with this and this. Let's go back and look at what we need, I guess, first. We need to have a spot on here. So we actually need it. It needs to be on here. Not on there. On here. These things might get kind of large. But under here, we're going to need an array. And we'll do a Godot array again, so we can export this, and they'll copyright, I think. We're going to need an array of enums. These are going to be county, all enums. I don't even know if you can do, I mean, you got to be able to, right? An array of enums. Input resources. And then what we'll do there, whoops, but we need to have this be a Godot collections array, and then like this. And then this caused me some grief last time I did this, but I can't remember why. Okay, it's not going to do it this time. So these are going to be, let's look at how this is going to work. Let's build this, because I haven't really done this before. I don't think I've ever done an array of enums. But I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, I think we got to do... I was hoping, I have done this before. I remember this exact same thing. Oh, wait. Did I put the wrong... All county resources. That's the wrong thing. County resource type is actually what we want. So we want this to be... Oh, we don't want this... No, this doesn't go here. I think we're about to run into the issue that I had. Man, I've been using Control X on Word documents so much lately, and I'm like, why isn't this working? I really just, when you have it selected anywhere and you get the whole, why don't they make that work across the board? This needs to be inside the county improvement resource, and I think that was when I was running into the issues. And that was that the problem was, that's actually not down there. They'll live outside over here. County improvement data is what we want. I'm going to check, make sure that everything's working over here. I always have this fear that nothing's working, and it happens enough that my fear is sometimes justified. What is this? County population status, daily resource generation. It should probably be right here. It didn't give me any grief though. So then we go back over to our county resources. We got to build this first. Just ignore I know I say this every stream, 40 times every stream, but just ignore that shit. Don't worry about it. Even though it upsets me greatly. So under our county resource here, or our county improvement, we should now, yeah, this is perfect. So it's going to take remnants. And I'm actually going to write it to take in two things because I want to test it. So it's going to take in remnants and wood. It's not going to actually work with wood later, but for right now, I don't know, I got a bunch of eye shit going on here. So it's going to take in remnants and wood, and we're going to use this to what the cost is. And oh man, I just thought of another thing that would kind of be nice, and that is a different amount. Like if it would take 10 wood to make the equivalent that 5 remnants would make, man, that would be really nice. We might have to do a dictionary, a couple of dictionaries. I don't know. We'll work on as we go. We'll figure this out. What's going on here? These are busted. Converted warehouse does nothing. Fisher's shed. The faction, I added something in and it must have thrown these all off. That's the big problem with, that's like the only problem I run into with enums. Lumberjack. It is building material though. Research does no county. And this is going to produce primitive scouting equipment and equipment. All right, so we also need a number is the amount that this is going to cost. And the reason I put it above the faction, or the amount they generate every day, is because I think we want to have, kind of in an order of how the production works. It has to input something. How would we do that? This is a rhetorical question. How would we do this with... no, actually, it's not a rhetorical question. If you have a better idea, if someone in chat is there and has a better idea, we could do a dictionary of county resource type. So it'd say like remnant and then an int. So it'd be remnant 5, and then it would check that dictionary. It would go through the dictionary and be like, hey, what happens if it needs 2 different resource inputs? So let's say it needs wood and remnants to be able to be built. Then, wow, this is going to get complicated. I don't know why I say that all the time too. Like, no shit. And I can half-ass it now, but I've noticed that if I half-ass it now, I gotta rewrite all this shit later. So let's see if we could do this in a way that it will not. So what we're gonna need to do is probably... I think what we're going to need to do is probably have a public class or something, or another resource that is like input resources. Can we do it without that? So if we had another resource called like input, we would have to have it specific to the county improvement it's connected to. So that's not very good. What information do we need to know? I guess that's a better way to start this. So let's pretend, let's do a new script here. We might just get rid of this script, but do I want to do a public class or a resource? Let's do a resource for now. And we'll do a new script. Input. Actually, let's wait on this. Let's go like this. On here. So what we need to know is, I guess I'll just type it in here. And then we'll go from there. So we're going to say that it needs both wood and remnants to make this equipment. That's not really what we're going to do, but we got rid of this crap. We don't need that crap there anymore. So if we need to know if it needs 2 or more resources, we need to know the amount of each resource for input. We need to know the amount of each resource. So, 5 wood and 1 remnant, let's say. We need to know the type and amount of each resource. I put a thing at the end because that's just what you do in programming. Semicolon. So we can't do that with an array unless we do like a public class or something. And we could put the public class in here, actually. That might be an okay idea. That's what ChatGPT likes to do that. Put them like right inside the script instead of making it its own script. Lord Mac, how's it going? Where they're coming from. We don't care where they're coming from because they're gonna be in your storage. Hopefully. And there's a net, but that does remind me. Well, we're gonna need this. Let's put this in our thing. Well, I was watching whatchamacallit, The Good Place. I usually do it with Star Trek, but Star Trek's not streaming anywhere anymore. I need a good TV show that I don't listen or don't actually watch. It just plays in the background. I don't know why. I like the noise and where I can like look at it every once in a while. Stargate also. Stargate and Star Trek are my like go-to for that. I don't think I have my GitHub open here. No, I don't. I can suddenly see a cat hair on my microphone. What the fuck, cat? Let's go back over here. I never watched The Good Wife. One of my ex-girlfriends was into that show. I think it was The Good Wife. She's like a lawyer or something. All right, so what we need to do, I already forgot. It took me so long to open this up that I forgot what I needed to do. I'll look at, not this. We'll look at this. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this, do we have county improvements on this list? Because we're going to do a bunch of changes. Okay, so we're going to move this all the way over uh, because we're actually going to do a bunch of these things. And so we might as well do the other ones while we're here. So part of the problem, so I was thinking about this last night. Let's say let's look at the game and it'll be easier to visualize here, I hope. So you're doing your scouting equipment, which actually automatically appeared on here, which is nice. And it looks like it did the math right too. Who knows? So let's say you're building scouting equipment. It's currently, if we set it up how it's currently sitting, they're gonna assign themselves to scouting equipment, and they're gonna build scouting equipment until you have 125 of them. That's way too many. that's that's way too many. Recipe. That's actually the word that I was looking for in my brain earlier, and I couldn't find it. My brain didn't work. So 125 is too many. Because you're at the beginning, it's going to be way too many and they're going to be kind of expensive. So you would have to manually go in here and put it at like 10 or whatever. And I feel so. This is what I was imagining: is you start the game, then you go immediately to resources and you adjust all your resources. Like fuck that. That's a pain in the ass, you know. So then what is it going to be pulling from? Because in this example with the scouting equipment, right now we don't have like metal and stuff in the game, but when we do, you're going to be able to pick between having it do remnants or metal, whatever the other things are. And we need to put in there that you can manually pick that stuff, I think, or prioritize one over the other for that. And I think we need to do that now, like kind of so that it's just ready later. Because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to be using up all of your remnants to fill up with scouting equipment when you don't even need the scouting equipment. So there's got to be some sort of, also kind of like a way to turn off a building, which I was kicking down the road because we talked about this a long time ago. We, as in me and chat, and Lord Mac, actually, we have discussed this. There's got to be a way to turn it off. And I think it's with this thing, it's suddenly a priority that like, wow, you wouldn't want your population to be building scouting equipment forever because you don't use it that much. There was another thing I forgot about too that I think is on this. Well, let's finish this. Let's finish moving this over here. I'm like sidetracked again. I get sidetracked so easy here. This is what we're going to be doing. For a minute here. We're going to do this. We're going to fix the county improvement thing. This will go over here. This will go back over here. Let's look. An advisor tip. What do you mean? Add prerequisites to research. Oh. That's a good idea. Later, when we have an economy, they'll build less, kind of like Victoria, because it's not worth anything. But there's a squirrel outside my house. I know that's. You're like, wow, big deal. Let's put this. So that should be. I need an economy tab. It's just that so far down the line. Let's put an economy tab, I guess, anyways. I think I gotta go all the way over to here to click this button. New column. And we can do this, and then go all the way back over here. Economy. Because that is going to be a huge thing at some point. Actually, this isn't much later stuff. But I want to write down these notes because I'll forget. and then we'll go. So before there is a monetary value to goods, we need to have some sort of before there is a monetary value to goods, we need to have some sort of warning or something that alerts the player that they have too much. But the thing is, it could be by choice. You could want to build a bunch of these things. Look at that, I put that S in the wrong spot. I moved over there to put the S and it was in the wrong spot. Too much of a finished good. I think that will be enough information for my brain to remember. So I'm looking at this list, this thing over here, and I think we want to. Do we want to do the add prerequisites to research? Yes. Let's do this research thing first, and then we can fix this county improvement thing, because that's the first step, is making sure the research works. And I wanted to look at something because I don't remember why I was manually doing this, but then also I was dragging and dropping these in here. I want to see how I think these are being assigned, so why am I dragging and dropping those in there? So I drag and drop a resource, or a research item there, but why would I do that if it's being assigned, if that makes sense? So let's look at this. So like right here, I dragged and dropped this in here. Like, why? Like, what's going on here? So is this going to be blank? Like, am I doing this in a really strange way? Because we're going to have to manually, this is where it's going to get weird. Yeah, it doesn't work unless it's in there. Why would I do it this way? Primitive scouting equipment. So let's look at the code on this thing first. And we'll fix this, then we'll move to the next thing. I got sidetracked because of the localization. So we have a new research item. Check if research is done. Instance research item data researched it. How has this worked at all ever? It's my question. So this like equals the we have an event in here that I don't know why there's an event in here. And this is a new research item data. This is so strange. That's the research item button. Like, how am I assigning the research on faction generation? Look at all these unsaved things. Faction generation is no longer up here because I don't know what happened. It's when I came back, everything was gone. Faction generation. How are we assigning these things? Add starting research. We're making a new copy. These things work though. This is the problem is that this doesn't work right now. These work how they're supposed to work, but they shouldn't. And I was thinking about this when I was falling asleep last night. Speaking of cat hair, I was like, my bed's covered in cat hair. So when they do research, it actually appears here. So we're editing these things, but because we're gonna have to do some weird shit to this to get this to work with the prerequisites. So we need to make sure these two things are talking to each other. So it goes through add starting research. So it goes through every item in the research tier 1. The role, yeah. Research tier 1. All research. See, I plop that in the back. It's actually, this is a tier 2 research. It makes a new copy. So it goes through all of the tier 1 research. We were doing for this new copy thing, we were testing a bunch of crap. This gets the faction ID. We got a rainbow thing in here we don't need to see, hopefully. I mean, not because it's rainbow, but because we just don't need this extra crap in here. Though I have a feeling I'm going to need this in a second because I'm going to rewrite this because I don't think this is right. So it adds it to this research items, right? So this faction research item, it needs to be, these items need to match. So I think I can't, like, how is this working? So if we unpause it and a day has passed, see, some research was done. It is here, but see, I dragged and dropped these things in there. So they are affecting. So all I can think of is that this copy isn't working. It's not actually copying it, even though we made a copy right here. But let's go back and look at where we did. This is called research items, faction data research items. So then back to our research control. For each county population and assigned researchers, so that's something else that's probably working fine. Generate assigned researchers, check for researchers. Add player research to UI. So this overwrites this stuff. Yeah, so this overwrites those things, these things that I was dragging and dropping in there. So that's why this works. This overwrites I was working on I only wrote like 2 sentences. I was working on my tabletop RPG, and I wrote a total of 5 sentences, but it was reduced down to 2, and I could not get any words to come out correctly, and it was blowing my mind. Like, it was always the wrong version of that word. The first try was always wrong. All of the theirs, thens, I don't even know. This right now, that overwrites looks weird to me. Is this even right? What? Okay, it is right. Now my brain is just like, what the fuck is this? This overwrites the dragged and dropped uh, research item datas in the UI. All right, so I'm going to leave that there for a second, but we're going to get rid of that shit. Like, why would I do that? And we have a bunch of problems then. So this is all trash. Everything I've done in my whole life is trash. All right, so it's getting the parent. The reason why this one wasn't working. Okay, so there was also a bad test that I did. So if I had tested this earlier, see, it's getting the parents, and it was getting these parents, or it was getting these children, and then it wasn't filling this one in. This would have never worked because this has a different parent. Yeah. I don't know what goes on. You always hear about like these better versions of keyboards and stuff, and I wonder if like having a better version of a keyboard would help my brain to connect. Probably not. It's probably just another excuse. All right, so this would have never worked though because this parent isn't here. So I think there's a couple of things we got to fix. We'll set this up once again. If we set this up, we pre-plan and not half-ass it at the beginning. It will make it easier when we add in tier 3 shit. In fact, we'll put in... No, we won't. So, but let's go back to the beginning here. In the beginning being this all research has one... And I actually had this on my lists under research. It was like yeah, here we go. So we'll put this at the top. And so what we'll do is we'll go back to our all research thing, which I don't think I have open. So let's open up this thing. And then we'll do export public research item data. And we'll say, yep, except we want that. Oh, you won't do it now? Thank you. Thank you. Whatever you're called. Visual Studio. All tier 2 research. We'll build this. We got 15? Five. Let's clear this. 5 is what we want, no, we don't want them, but what we expect, not 15. I think the other 10 were already there. But I didn't get my thing. Did I not put export on it? No, export's there. Did I not save it? No, it's saved. Are you done being built? What are you doing? This needs to be on, oh, it's right here. I just couldn't see it. There we go. And then we're going to put in, and this stuff is manually done. Like we are manually setting some stuff because we can't do it with the computer's not. We need a human has to touches its fingers on it. All right, so this is our tier 2 research now. And it's only one. But then we're going to go back to our faction generation here. And I was thinking about this too. I don't actually think this matters, having these broken into 2 lists. How did I do? Because I have a thing on here that is their tier right here. And I'm always worried about how fast the program runs in the background. Like, how fast is it going to add 5 plus 5? It's too slow. I don't think I think I'm overly worried about that. So let's actually go back to this. Let's go back to all research right here. wherever the fuck it went. Here, I'm going to pin this. Get rid of this thing. Save that. Go back over here. We'll build this. Yeah. That was my deep thought face there. All right, man. Have a good night. Sleep well. We'll go to here. We'll go put this back over here. And this does say tier 2, and these all say tier 1. Just double. No problem. One day, well, you know, localization was kind of interesting. It's kind of, for me to do, it was probably quite boring to watch. we got more going, but yeah, I was thinking there was a problem there, but no. All right, so we got the different tiers all in one thing, which is fine, and it's going to add all of these to the. If we go back to faction generation, I don't know where anything is at this point. It wasn't just, oh, it's right here. I guess we could pin this too since we're working on this. So this part's going to be okay. This part's fine. Because it's going to add it all in there. It's going to add it all to the list of each faction, but the thing's going to know if it's a... we can pin this too. The thing's going to know if it's... The thing itself knows. And so this what are we doing here? Get child. And then we assign this to the button. All right, so we need to rename this though. We got to do some... This is going to be tier 1. Tier 1 research item. And then we're going to do a tier 2 one. Public VBox container tier. We'll put in a third one too. I was thinking for a second I typed it. It started typing or started reaching to duplicate a thing, but then I didn't. But we'll put in the tier 3 one just so we're ready. Item parent. So then let's go back here and create and assign these things. So we're going to do another one of these, but we're going to delete this, and we're going to rename this and put this at the end. And we're going to put this, we need to build it here. And we'll add these 2 things. I'm showing 3, but we need to, oh, you know what? This one probably will go away. Yeah. And we'll go tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And then we'll go back over to our research thing here and add to this. So we're going to go, it was less than the tier. This is some very old code. So what we're going to do here is for each research item data, research item data in player faction. We need globals here because this only applies to the player faction. We don't need to put this for the faction. Nope. Player faction data. We're just saying research item data. What is going on here? There's an example of just me typing crazy shit. So for every one of these, we need to check its. I guess we can put a switch in here, and then we need to assign it to the correct thing. Yeah. So I can never remember how to do a switch. I always have to look it up every time. C# switch. Eventually it will stick in my brain here. This seems very bright on my eyes today. Probably because it's a little bit overcast today. And my eyes are not. It is switch. Research item data tier. What did I tier? And then we go case. What did I do? Did I make an enum? I might have gotten a little over control or out of control with the enums. Research tiers. I did do it in enum. Wonder why? Because what I could do is just make it a int. Whatever. We'll leave it like this. There may have been a thought process behind that. Case. I'm gonna take a quick break after this. Case. Research tier 1. Then we do a colon, and then we do a break. And then let's do this. Actually, this. And this. And we'll go 2. And we'll go 3. And we'll save that. Oh, I lost some frames today. Shit. The reason I'm sitting here staring at this is in reality we should just instantiate this shit. No dragging and dropping. None of that crap. We just instantiate it and draw the lines and stuff. So part of the issue is, is this going to work here? I want a line to be drawn from this to this. It's not going to be this has been a thing for a long time that I've wanted to do, and we might as well do it now. Everything's so gray and ugly and shit. And I think there is a UI line. I was trying to say less. UI line. This is not for UI though. This is how to draw lines between shapes and stuff, between the 2D things. And I vaguely remember looking this up before and it being kind of a pain. Using in a control node. Here we go. What is this part? What is this thing? This is a forum. Yeah, like this person's doing something similar. How to set global position, blah blah blah. Nobody replied to this. And it's great. Let's make sure this is in the last year. Maybe we can get some. I kind of vaguely remember fucking around with this though, and like, I'm not really gonna. It's not line 2D. We might be able to do that. I vaguely remember looking at a thing, and I don't want to get too sidetracked on lines. We don't have to have a line, but a line was part of the things. Um, oh, I did it again. I said again. I think the key is you're supposed to just say nothing instead of saying. This is totally off topic. Uh, draw a line in UI. That's the one I just looked at. Yeah. I mean, you could put a note. Maybe we'll just fuck around with the 2D one. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a little weird. There's got to be a way to do it, you know. I bet you if I ask ChatGPT, it's gonna tell me that you got to use the line thing. I think I did ask ChatGPT. Basic scene, grid container, VBox container, recap. That's no good for me. I think I did ask it. I bet you there's me asking it 12 fucking times in here. Because this has been an ongoing thought process. In Godot 4.3 .NET C Sharp, how do I draw a line in the UI? You can create a custom control by extending the control class and over. Oh, I did. Well, no, I did tell it the draw method. Right click in your file system. The fuck are you talking about, file system? I mean, I guess it's fine. Line color, line width, starting point, end point, line drawer. I that's like what I would call it. New line drawer. But what is this? What, there's no line. Draw a line. Does it think that there's something called draw line? Is there something called draw line? What does this need to be in? In a control? I have a controls everywhere. Here's a control right here. Draw line. There is a thing called draw line. Draws a line from a 2D point to another with a given color and width. It can be optionally anti-aliased. If the width is negative, then a 2-point primitive will be drawn instead of a 4-point one. This means when the canvas item is scaled, the line will remain thin. You know, that's a pretty, whoever wrote this little hover over thing, tooltip, made it nice. I like what because it explains it better than I feel like a lot of them do. A lot of them are just like developer speak. Um, all right, we can try this draw line. I'm less scared of lines. I have another game that I worked on a little bit with a bunch where you draw lines all over the place, and I actually was, like I said, it's gotten my fear of lines has gone away, or less. It's gone less. Anyways, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a break, and then I will be back in less than 5 minutes. And I gotta put up my break timer, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and that was a very unsatisfactory cigarette. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but it did. And I'm out of coffee. Alright, well, so what we're going to do here is fix this now that I know that I can attempt to draw a line. And what we're going to do with that is we need to instantiate. So I think I already have a UI element for these things because it has a little scene thing in here. Oh, I got to start my music. And let's see. So let's go back to here somewhere. I wonder where this thing is. Do I have it open? I don't. Where? Maybe they're just copies. Maybe it's not down here. Maybe I just made a scene. Maybe I put it in the weird spot because this was I set this up a long time ago. Yeah, and we'll just instantiate every time, I guess. I think it will work out better too because if the screen size changes. So what we're going to want to do though is make sure I don't have. Let's put in research in here. And we're looking for here it is right here. I don't know how I didn't see that. It's because it has UI in the front of it. We know it. So I used to do that. Where the fuck did it go? I used to do that. I'm going to rename that there. I used to do that when I was doing Unity. All of everything that was UI had the word UI in it. So I would move them all to the bottom and it would be easy to find. But this is what we're going to be instantiating. We'll open this up too just to see how this thing works. I guess we already had it open. Is it pinned? No, let's pin that because we're going to be doing a bunch of shit to this stuff. So then back to, so in this control, we're going to need to also have this thing. We already have it in here. What the fuck was I, like half did this or what? And did I call it UI? I did. We're just going to call it research item button. And it's almost like I am instantiating it somewhere, but I wasn't doing it right. I don't see any instantiation here. Instantiate. Oh no, this is assigned researchers, clear researcher H box. We're translating their name. That's under there. Assigned researcher's parent. Maybe this is not what. Maybe this is not what I'm thinking this is. No, it is. Assigned researcher HBox container. That's a whole different thing. I think I like half did this and then I didn't do it. Like what? Whoops. Yeah, it's not there. We're gonna build this though so we can drag and drop this back in here. And we're gonna delete these out of here. We'll leave them here for a minute. No, I can't build it because I have this problem. I gotta turn my music up because this song is good. You guys can't hear my music. I will one day maybe get music that you guys can hear. I would like to do that. Now my music is too loud. It's so loud. All right. We're just gonna, I'm gonna be shouting. Oh, this was, I had a button. We can get this out of here. I was testing something and I had a button that, every time you open the research screen, it gave everyone +1 intelligence. I don't know why that's commented out, but there's probably a reason. So back to this thing. Oh, we were waiting. We had to build this. Scatterbrained. That's how I'm going to describe myself here. Then this needs to be in here. Then we'll go back to here. I don't know why I did this the other way. So for each one of the research item datas, we need to have a research item button. Sure. Tier 1 button. And then it's going to equal whatever I called that thing up above. We got to do a research item button. And we're going to go instantiates. No, that's a data in there. There we go. And then we're going to, we have that button, and then we're going to go research or tier 1 button dot, yep. And then we go like that. Then we copy this. I actually don't think I think we can just go like this. Oh, we got to add child too. I think we can go research item button here. And research item button here. Whoops. And then, oh. Okay, we need this to be called something else. We'll go new. Then we're going to go, this is the whole reason why we have these cases here. It's something parent. Tier 1 parents. There we go. Then we can copy this. And we can go, oh, we do have to have them name something different. For some reason, for a second there, I didn't think we needed to. We're going to rename this, though. We're going to call it tier 1. Then we're going to go tier 2. And then we're going to go 2. We're going to go tier, whoop, I don't know why I keep doing that either. 3. This needs to be 2. And this needs to be 3. Then if we go back over to our research item button here, it looks like these are supposed to fill themselves in automatically. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to get rid of it. We were hiding something. Oh, I remember what that was. Let's see if we can build this now and see what it does. We should get a bunch of duplicates because I haven't deleted those other ones out of there. Look at 30. Whoops. I don't know why I'd say we're getting bugs from dragging and dropping. Did I drag and drop those? I did, I think. The parents. All right, so this worked. That didn't work. Let's go back to our thing. Tier 2. Oh, you know what? We might have, no, we don't. Did I drag the wrong one in here? 1, 2, 3. Let's delete these out. Let's save this. Let's rerun it. We have one thing that's going wrong. Maybe I didn't readjust that tier and tell it it's tier 2. See, I'm not quite sure why I was doing it manually. Oh, we got a bug though. Oh, is this that one dumb one? Yeah, there's a couple of these I don't know what to do about. There's a couple of bugs. Let's go check our research item for the primitive thing. It's set on tier 2. Let's double check our case. This is instantiating the button. It's putting in tier 2 research item is being, this resource item is being assigned there. Tier 2, adding a child. This is an HBox container, so it should, well, we can't see it. It feels to me like this is, but it's right. Let's get rid of this stuff. Yeah, let's get rid of that. If we click on one of these, what does it do? It looks like it's right. It's kind of hard to tell because it's in Spanish, but they have the right things. This is just in the wrong spot. I'm looking for, I always do this where when I do this copying and paste, I always forget one thing. So that's what I'm looking for is like, this says 2, this says 2, tier 2 button, tier 2 research item parent, tier 2 research item, tier 3. And this is a H box. So each one of these V boxes should be next to each other. Make sure these are all tier 1, because if they were all tier 2, it would do the same thing. This bug is that handled bug. We'll run it one more time, see if this handled thing goes away. My music is so loud, it's insane. It's also not really what I want to hear anymore. Not that you guys can hear it. All right. Says the right stuff. We're going to be getting to this, fixing this, hopefully today. I'm going to figure out why this isn't working though. Generally what I've found is it's right in front of my face. Yeah, that's not going to show us anything. Here to research item parent. That's the one. What if we did something strange? Maybe, is this in a wrong spot? No, it's tier. Wonder if this isn't copying right when I do the new copy. That's the right shit. Let's do this. $, research item data tier. And I guess we don't need the $, but I don't know how that's going to print out. I think it should print out the enum's name. I'm wondering if, like I said, we aren't copying it correctly when we do our new copy. Like it's resetting it or something. So it should be... Yeah, it thinks they're all tier 1 at this point. I wonder if I have a thing that's resetting them all, like that I built in there for some old thing. Oh, good God. That's not what I want. Whoops. I don't want that either. I guess that doesn't help me. Faction generation. There was some weird research thing that I did a long time ago. Wonder where it was. Where it like manually, I had it manually typed in. I think that was on this one. This is for each of all tier 1 research data. I mean, it says tier 1. I guess when I did my search, this wasn't a good thing to... That's what it's called, but it's not. Let's rename that just because. Whoops. Yeah, let's rename that just because. Actually, I have this open somewhere. It's just going to be all research data. All research. Oh my God. All no. Research item datas. And let's make sure that that didn't break this. And then we'll look at the research item datas. Yeah, it did break it. And this needs to be in order of how we want it. It's going to go through, sort of. We could put in an order, I suppose. So this definitely says 2. But let's look at our research item data because we are copying. We have a new I'm shouting. Research item, we'll pin you. We aren't copying the tier. I wonder if I probably, if I could, I've never done this, but I should. We're not copying the tier. Go back and look at an old video to see what I said. Like, I bet you I said, oh, we don't need that tier shit. Equals. All right, so we'll copy that over, obviously. We'll go like this. Yeah, I totally probably was like, we don't need tiers. We don't use that shit. We don't need to copy that. There we go. And we're going to leave this on Spanish too, because I need to see this stuff that is not getting translated. And So let's make sure that this is now also researching. By undoing this, we should get some research over here. And it is. They're not going to research this yet, I don't think, because I don't think we have that set up right. Maybe I'll put that note in here. In fact, I will. Make sure the population will research higher tiers and research them second. We want them to do it second. And let's see. This, we need to put this kind of up on the list here. This is done. We're not doing this. We're not just having one list and each research item data knows which tier it is in. All right, so we're going to do these two things. And this needs to be over here too. We have this open, so we might as well translate these, get these things translated. So the top thing looks like the only thing we need to translate. And so I was having some titles. Oh, those are the different titles though. Let's sort this shit. There's got to be a better way to do this. If you select this, can you unselect that? You can. Go data, A to Z. So what other titles do I got on here? We'll save this. So none. So we're just doing Word. So we just need Word research. 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 There was something else I think on here. Not on this one, but we'll do all these at once. Research cost. So this is going to be a phrase. Research cost. And then we need a phrase. County improvement. And then we need another phrase. I'm looking at the game here is what I'm doing. Oh, our close button isn't set up right either. We need another phrase for assign researcher. And I think that's it, except this top bar needs some work too, but I guess we'll get to that later. So we just have these. This is going to be a different thing. We're going to translate, and we'll get this close immediately. We'll do the close right now because that is easy. And then back over to here, actually, we need to put this in. County improvements. Assign researcher. Then we translate. Didn't get the I. Then we'll go over here. Then we need to go back. Bring this over here. And This is going, I'm going to copy and paste this just to make sure that there's like there, what motherfucker. You guys couldn't see what happened, but just trust me, I didn't like it. We'll paste that in there. Assigned. Oh, there's a label we didn't see because it's turned off. Phrase assigned researchers. Assigned researchers. And with an S at the end, huh? What happens if there's just one? What happens if there's just one? All right. Assigned researchers. That's a grid box. That's the description panel. I actually was looking at the wrong spot, but that description panel, research name. This is the research description, which is already working. Research cost. Total cost, progress bar, county improvement. There's no labels there. That's the menu. Oh, there's the text for that, though. I almost just went to copy the same text, the English text. All right, so let's close this thing. Just making sure it's saved. Let's go back to our other thing. Re-import. Restart. Drink some water. Investigations. I feel like such a dork every time I try to speak the Spanish words that I see because of I feel like a just, you know, because my accent is probably atrocious. We have these things to do still, but these are something else. And we do have the top bar, but currently that looks pretty good. All right, so that part's done. We've translated that part. This is done. You know, it does feel good to accomplish stuff, and accomplishing that simple task of these being translated, you know, even though I can see that there's some that are not. We don't need to look at that. Next on the list here, I just closed this, didn't I? Go the fuck away. Did I close something else? No, it's gone. It just won't go away. Get out of here. Okay, now it's gone. I think it was gone after I said that. Add prerequisites to the research description panel. We need to do these both. Let's start with this one. So this is where it gets a little strange. If we go back to our research, we need to have a prerequisite that's done, right? For the scouting equipment, you have to have basic production finished. You know, that probably even shouldn't be called, what are we doing? I guess basic production is fine. But that has to be finished, and we have this dragged and dropped in here. which is fine if you could see it, and I guess that's what we'll do first. We'll make it so you can see this thing. I want you to be over here. What is this thing? Yeah, we need to have the prerequisite be visible here. So for this testing, we're gonna have to do some magic, I guess. So we have the progress bar, we have the button, and a checkbox that's hidden. We were gonna use that checkbox for something. Well, we don't need it anymore. Actually, yeah, we were gonna have a checkbox to show that it was done, but we did it with this. I try to delete old crap as much as possible. You always hear about these people who like data mine video games, and I wonder why there's so much old crap in video games, but I can see it happening, you know. So what we want to do. All right, I was like, where is it getting this word? But I guess it's the button. So that's not going to work. Well, this isn't going to work at all. I was hoping we could, I was hoping we could somehow. I was hoping we could somehow salvage some of this. Let's rename this to button too. So we can salvage some of it, but not as much as I would hope. So the button needs to go over this whole thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to need another V-box inside here. Inside here. And it needs to go. It actually needs to be inside the button, but I don't think that that's going to work. It obviously is not working. Because if it was, it would. Let's add a label in here. And then that way we can test what we're seeing here. So what we're going to have to do, and I've done this before, is we're actually going to have this to go here. We're going to get rid of this. Oh, the button has an image is what's going on there. The button needs to be, oh, it is outside of this. Doesn't be a big pain in my ass. I guess it's not that big of a deal. It kind of is a pain. We're going to need two labels in here. And we're going to need a text rec. Whoops. We're going to need a text rec in here. And this button can stay here and this signal can work, but the button's going to be over everything. I guess including that, we'll get rid of, well, we'll leave this. We'll leave that to, no, we won't. This needs to be like up here. And then we need to get rid of this, I guess. And then this, we need to get rid of this text as well. The button will just be on top of everything. I think actually it's going to need to be at the bottom, or so that we are not clicking through things. So this is going to be progress bar, and you know what? I'm not gonna label it. This is going to be labeled though, and it's going to be called info research info, and then this one is going to be research name label, and then this one's going to be research prerequisites. I don't think that's spelled right, but whatever. And then this is going to be research icon. And this needs to say label at the end. Prerequisites. Maybe that is right. And then in this VBox, we're going to need actually outside of this, we're going to need an HBox. And then this VBox and this need to be inside here. And this needs to be up here. And then we'll assign that texture, wherever that temporary texture was. It's going to be under graphics. We need a little, it's just this. Looks a little Our HBox needs to expand vertically, and that's fine. Then we need this to be on the far left, but something's holding it up here. We don't want it to expand. We want it to this we want to expand. This is set to fill. This is right. This, I guess we're going to have to, this is the problem. We need this to expand. There we go. And then we need this be centered. And we want this prereq label to be kind of at the bottom. We want it to be centered. The problem is, what happens if we have something that has two prerequisites? This is such a pain in my ass. Good God. Maybe we want this to be a title. I better make sure this is spelled right then, right? Whoops. Clicking all sorts of stuff. I guess it was right. And all right. So this is going to be a title, though. I think we'll do a title. And we'll turn this on and off if there are prerequisites. Prerequisites. It looks like it's spelled so wrong, but it's not. So what we need to do with this VBox If I expand this, let's look here. If I expand this, I think it will, just this one, it will push. That isn't actually what I wanted, but that's fine. And then we need another label. That will be our prerequisite thing here. Yeah, that's not what we want. I'm trying to, like, maybe we should make this a little smaller or something. We could underline. I don't actually think underlining is an easily done thing, though. I think you gotta like fuck with it in themes and stuff. Prerequisite label. And so this would be whatevs. We want this to be centered. We want it to be centered. What are my options? Yeah, I'd have to do like a style box and shit for that. And I don't really want to. Not right now, at least. Maybe there's something over here. Texture action. Nothing that seems easy, so we'll just do this like this. I mean, we can make this a little bigger or this a little smaller. I don't actually know what font size this is. When you go to your theme overrides and you click font size, it doesn't tell you what its current font size is. But right now, let's see what happens if we just make this, we instantiate these. I think that will be the easiest way. I want my UI scenes down here. And this one's going to be called, I think we should call it research prerequisite. Research. Did I put spaces in these? Some of these have spaces and some of them don't. Huh. Okay. And then from here, we're going to go back. This button, we're going to go back to this thing. And we're going to need... I still don't know why this is new. I don't feel like that needs to be new, but we'll leave it like that. This is a V-box. Yeah. Prerequisite parent. And then we're going to also need label. Nope. Packed scene. Research prerequisite packed scene. And then let's look at this button again. The button's still in the right spot. We just cleared out the text so that you can click anywhere on there. And I guess it's going to work on the percentage too, which I guess that's fine. And then let's build this, and we'll stick stuff over. Man, I've been getting so many spam phone calls. My phone tells me though, and I don't answer my phone anyways. Spam phone calls have ruined phones. No one answers their phone anymore, except for people who are slightly older than me. It's kind of weird. my coworkers who are like, I'm 50, that are like 52 and older, answer all their phone calls, and it's like, don't you get spam calls? And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I just answer them, and it's so bizarre to me. Uh, anyways, or answer their phone at all. That too. This parent goes there. Like my mom doesn't though. She's 70, 71, I think. But she will text me first. And and I have her saved in my thing though. Here's that checkbox. Wonder if we use this somewhere. No, we can just get rid of it. But she always texts me, and even though I have her in my phone and I know it's her. All right. So we have this shit in here now. And we don't need this anymore. When this is visible, check if research is done. I don't know why I did this as an event. We subscribe initial research info updates. So here, the text goes to this research button text. We actually need to add some different things in here. So we have that parents. The research button no longer is needed for that particular thing, but we need a label here. We could probably put this up here. Maybe at the bottom, actually. Private label. Why are these public? This doesn't need. Private label. This is going to be called research name label. And then we have label. This one, I think, is above that in the list. What else are we adding? The icon. We need a text rec. Whoops. Texture rect. Research icon texture rect. And then we need to put these things in here. So you're going to go here. You're going to go here. And then I changed the name of this thing. Research oh, this is the pack scene. There we go. Now back to this. This is going to be name label. These are just getting translated automatically without me doing anything to them. Research icon. Oh, we got to do this differently. It's going to be texture. And then what do we got down here? That's just the one thing. On button pressed. All right, that's all. That's looks good to me. To a point. So I guess we just run this and see what happens. I have a feeling we are going to have bugs, though. I don't think we can get away with having the. I mean, it wasn't that many changes, but those few changes. It's kind of interesting how much darker this is. I kind of like that. All right, so this did all work how I wanted it. This isn't quite as squished as it was before. In fact, it's not squished at all. That actually worked. Oh, the button doesn't work though. The button needs to be... I hate doing this. The button needs to be down here, so it's over the top of all of them. But then look at that. It looks fucking lame. We can fix that, though. That can be fixed. I'm going to take a break in a second. Yeah, that looks terrible. So with the button, there's a spot. I think it's this one. Yeah, we just turn that all the way down. So it's invisible, but it's there. Then I'm going to take a break. Yeah, perfect. This is perfect timing. I'm wondering what this message is all about. Well, that doesn't look good. That looks awful. That doesn't look like that at all. Oh, it's because I have some theme. The other way we could do it is put it back here and put this back. Okay, fine. Let's see what this looks like again. Just make sure it's the button's not gonna work right now, but we can have this pass through. Yeah, I actually kind of like how that looks, like I said a second ago. Then I think what we can do is put mouse ignore on that. We might have to put, yeah, ignore here too. I think that thing's on top. Okay, that didn't work. I figure we probably need to ignore all of this crap. You figure it would apply to all of its children too, but I guess it doesn't. My cat is on the move. The only other problem with this that I can see is that we're probably not going to get any button feedback that you clicked it. I've done this before, so if I have to, I can go check how I did it before. But I think I'll take a break regardless here. There we go. And it actually did give us button feedback. Man, this shit is ugly though. I mean, when I was saying it looked better, I mean, it just doesn't look good. This shit is ugly. I have to pay an artist $1 million to fucking help me with this, because they're gonna be shell shocked from looking at the disgusting UI. They're gonna quit. They're gonna be like, holy fuck, this is terrible. Anyways, let me put on my break. Let me pause my music and put on my break timer. All right, and music that you guys can't hear. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. There's been this ongoing conversation I've been having with chat and also with my friends about, is my cat stupid because he runs in front of my moving feet. He just did it. And I don't kick him. I always stop, but I don't see him 90% of the time. So it's like I almost kick him all the time because he just charges underneath my feet. Like I'll be walking and he'll charge, I'll have my foot out and moving forward. This foot's down, this one's moving forward, and he'll charge right here. And he'll get right there, and then I'll stop, and then I'll have to like be balanced on one foot in mid step. It's weird because it's like very trippy, chance of tripping, not as in tripping balls, but and so one day I decided I would just move my foot, continue, because I always would stop, not to hit him, but continue moving my foot forward, but slowly, to see what would happen. Excuse me. And he wouldn't get out of the fucking way. And so I don't think that he's stupid. I think he's just entitled. He's like, I know Josh isn't going to kick me. He's going to try his best not to kick me. And, when so I did it for like a day. I just kept pushing him out of the way with my foot. And he avoided my foot after that to a point. But he wouldn't, the minute I went back to walking normal, he was back to charging underneath my feet to try to kill me. He also could just want to murder me. That could be a thing. That's probably what is going on. And so he could eat my corpse. That's probably part of it. I'm pretty sure that's part of it. He wants to eat my corpse. That's mostly it. Probably. What are we doing here? This all works. Did we finish this then? Why isn't this translated? Oh yeah, that's what we're going to do in a second. Does this all work? Oh no, we got to do the prerequisites. All right, so when this thing is assigning these, we need to basically go through and assign these prerequisites. Initial research info updates. It's a dumb name. Update research button. I don't know why I'm using info today. So then we need a for loop in here, for each loop. Update prerequisites. No. Prerequisites. Generate our method. I guess. Oh no, we have it saved at the top. So if actually we could put this up here. We would go if research item data dot prerequisites dot length count. Why is it a count? Isn't this an array? I guess we count Godot arrays. Count is greater than 0, then we update this. Else we hide these other things. We need to hide the title. Prerequisites parents, no. We need we'll put it right here. Private label research my cat's back. Prerequisites title label. That's a nice long one there. And we'll hide this. We shouldn't have to ever unhide it. Like show it, because if it doesn't, they're not going to gain prerequisites later. Great, my cat has decided to lay right next to the wheels on my chair. And then for this, we'll go for each research item data, research item data in that we will instantiate a new label and then add it to the with a name on there. What did I call that thing? Research name label. Well, it's a label. Research prereq. Why am I spelling out prerequisites every time? Label equals we need a label, and this is going to be research prerequisite vaccine instantiate, and then we're going to do add. Well, we got to tell it what it is. Research label text equals research item data dot research name, and then we're going to do prerequisites parents add child, and I think this should work. Is this a list of... Yeah, this is an array of prereqs. What is this? I thought I was doing it differently. Now that I wrote all that, let's go back up to our thing here. Yeah, we're going to have to assign this a different way, though. Sort of. No, we definitely are. So then back to this, though. We can delete this out of here. We leave this up because it's going to get hidden. Sometimes my cat likes to half sit like a human. He's doing it right now. It's kind of strange. All right, well, that didn't work. So some of these are null. So I wonder if we can do like that. But this one, the bottom one isn't null. Its count was 1. Its count was 1. Oh, you know what the problem is? Is this needs the this thing. Look at all those bugs that will now go away. Man, he's got his paw like this far from the wheel. If I was to wheel forward, he'd be dead. Count is equal or is greater than 0. Man, time's flying today. It's nice to have the it's what? It's nice to have no, those are null. Okay, no. I wasn't giving him attention, so he clawed me. Can you see his claw? Uh, is not equal to null. Let's look here, but I'm pretty sure that if I go back to here and then I look at this one, or no, look at this one. Yeah, it's null. It's nil. There's nothing in there. It's not even initialized. So that's the problem. I don't know. Well, it's not happening, but we're not getting what we want here, which is this one should have a thing at the bottom. Is not equal to null. It does this. GD print. $, research item data, prerequisites. No, that's not what I want. Name, research name is not null. That will just tell us what we're approximately doing wrong. It's already fucking noon. I said time is flying. I guess I started a little bit later. Let's see. Null. What is this? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Why isn't it showing that in the debug? Where does it come? Where is it happening? Look at all the wave, the tornadoes and stuff. Oh, is it up here? We don't give a shit about those. You know what the problem is? It's this research item data. We're not copying over that because I just added it. We need to copy over the new this new collection. And I think this is where it gets strange. Where was this located? County improvement data. This one's doing, this might be weird too, but man, I gotta remember this error because I bet you it's gonna come up a lot because we're gonna be fucking with these research items for the rest of eternity. It's never going to not be. Look, and it's translated. These ones didn't hide though. So maybe that, if we do that, we have to go back to the count thing. All right, so these are supposed to not be making a reference, but I have a feeling they are. So let's go back to this though, and we'll see. Yeah, because we weren't copying it at all, so it was probably becoming null. And before it's getting initialized at some point, I guess. We'll figure it out. It's not like this is a difficult one. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. This is going to turn into some catastrophe. There we go. Prerequisites is not translated. How could I do that to myself? Didn't I already have that? Can I do that to myself? Word. I'm coming. Perishable. I do not have word prerequisite. Word prerequisite. Now, we're going to double check this spelling, because if this is spelled wrong, then I have to like go fix it throughout the thing. Oh my god, now my cat's crying. We'll put an S at the end of this, and then we'll go prerequisites. And then I'm going to move this over here just because it's easier for me to see over here. We'll translate it. He just doesn't, the cat just doesn't understand when I'm streaming. He just thinks I'm sitting in here making noise. That's probably, that's a theory I have with him crying all the time too, is he sees me in here talking, just uttering gibberish, you know, because to him it's gibberish. And so now he's mimicking me. He's like, oh, that thing, the human makes sounds all the time. I should make sounds all the time. Yeah, it is better that I did all this localization because that was quick. You know, I just had to add one word. Where the fuck am I going? I just had to add one word. Re-import. Restart. I just got to keep on top of it. If I slack for 2 seconds, same with when we start doing tooltips, which I need to start doing. All right, and that's in Spanish. And these are the same, which is what, of course they are. And this is all in Spanish. All right, so that works. This isn't as horrible as I thought it would be, except now we're to the horrible part. Do I have time? Yeah, I have 30 minutes. We can get to this horrible part. So this is the problem. This thing, even though we can't click on it, I guess we got to add it to here too. Let's add it to here, and then maybe I can kick this can down the road another day, right? I gotta change this music that you guys can't hear because it's awful. So on our research description panel, let's actually pop this thing open. We're gonna do something similar. I saw this earlier. I get it is translating that though. So we have the cost, and this is the improvements you get. This is the percentage that it's been done. So probably we want the prereqs above it so that you can see and what we'll want to do then, I think that what we'll do, do we want to make them buttons so we could click on it and it would open up the corresponding thing? Good God, we probably do want to do that, but I've been playing a lot of Shadow Empire again, and the UI and Shadow Empire is an amazing game, but the UI and stuff is so insane with the things you have to click on, the tooltips you gotta hover. So we're gonna put this underneath here. We're gonna add a label. Actually, I don't know what we've done to these other labels. So let's do this total cost of research, this one. Let's duplicate this. Let's put this one up here. Let's rename this to prerequisites title label. And then we'll put in, oh, I closed it. I wonder if it's still on my, There it is. So then we're going to have our prerequisites here, but then we're going to need a thing below this, you know, that. So I think what we'll do is we'll add an H box. I mean, I guess we can add a V box. I wonder how many we're going to have. We have a lot of space on this window, so I was thinking maybe let's do a V box. VBix. We'll put a VBox container right here, and we'll call it prerequisites VBox container. Then this won't be changing, but we will need to turn this on and off if there aren't any prerequisites. So let's go back to our description panel thing here. Cost of research, we're going to need an export. We're going to need a private label, prerequisites title label. I don't know why. Just prereq? Why didn't I just use prereq the whole time? And then we're going to need a parent for them. Private. That was a VBox container. Oh, that was, I liked that. I was going to just edit that. Give it to me. All right, fuck you. Prerequisites parent. I think I put like what it is, but all right, I'll do it. VBox parent container. No, fuck that. We'll just do this. Then we're also going to need another pack scene for that same thing, and I guess I'll just stick it right here because who cares, right? Packed scene. It's going to be called prerequisite label packed scene. Then let's add these things in here because I'll forget and we'll get the bugs. Like I was just, I think I was going to compliment myself on doing these without fucking it up for a minute there, and then I didn't. Then I immediately fucked it up. This parent is this thing. And then we're going to go back. Immediately forgot after that. UI scenes. I did not call it the same thing. Oh. All right, so on Ready, we had an instance of this. I don't know why we're instancing this, but this is for research. Assign the menus. Add on visibility change. I don't know why this is so low. Let's put this up at the top. I like it on visibility change to be at the top because it's an important piece. Then update description labels is what we want. So we have all these labels being updated. And we're going to need another one of those pretty much the same exact thing we just wrote. I was thinking we could turn this into a method or something under like research item data. I mean, we could. We should, right? And then this would be inside there as well. Both of these things. We would need to pass in a thing, but that's it. We'll put this inside research item data. Well, sort of. Oh my God, kitty. Please shut up. That's not what we want. We want a public, I think it's going to be, I don't know, public void check for prereqs, we're gonna need. Oh, they're different though. All right, we'll just do it half-assed. Wait, didn't I say I wasn't gonna half-ass shit today? What do you want? Did I cut this or did I just copy it? I think I just copied it. Where was I? It was under research control here. Wasn't it? We would be getting a bunch of bugs because I cut it. If I cut it. Now the cat's looking at me all suspiciously. Like I was doing something weird. This is under research item button, actually. Yeah, we'll just have two of them. I don't. Why? I guess. It seems like a bad way to do it, but I guess I'm being lazy or something. We don't need this. We don't need this. We're gonna go. This is actually what we need. This will go here. And we'll get rid of this. This will be called. Why is this? What did I call this thing? It should actually be the name. Prereqs title label. Oh, did I put research in front of it? I did. Sometimes I get a little carried away here with these long things. Oh my god, this cat's going insane. And then this is going to, I call this just, I guess I'll copy this up to here. It's exactly the same. Why am I making this? Whoops. Why am I making this two separate things, right? I'm gonna put a note in here. I guess I'm just feeling more lazy right now than I should be. I shouldn't be doing this. This whole thing could be one method. This whole thing is a duplicate of the code in research item button. There. That will later when I'm feeling more adventurous, not adventurous, more into it. Prereqs parent. Yep, this is what we want. Is this all set up? Let's build this one more. Now my cat's like stalking the whole place. Like, title label. I renamed it. Was, ah, shit. And we got one more. And I think, like I said, I don't think it matters. No, it won't matter because the prereqs never. That's not true. On this one, it will matter because we need to turn that title on and off. So before on the other one, it never changes, but this one we're going to be getting different. We're going to be getting different stuff. So what we could do here is research. We could always just show it here because it's going to need to be shown every time, and then because it's going to be checking every time. probably this will, there's our, man, that shit's ugly. Oh, we got a bug too. Yeah. So that's still there. So we also got to clear that off. Oh, it's that handle bug. We also got to clear off. So these are slightly different. This whole thing is almost a duplicate. So what we need to do is here we need to clear prerequisites, and then we'll go like this, and then we'll go for each. What are these things? Label in get children label dot q free. So that should blow away. For some reason, this one wants explicit casting. I still don't know why sometimes. I guess it's just when it's get child. That's what it is. It's when it's get children, because these are just returning a node. That's why it's doing that. I just dawned on me. So this is going to clear the prerequisites. It's going to show the prerequisites title. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that works. Let's do this. And then I think I'm going to call it a. Streamed a lot of this, a lot of translations too. And my kitty wants outside. He knows his name's Peter. I didn't name him. His name's Peter, but he doesn't respond to that. He responds to kitty though, because man, this is ugly as shit. All right, so we got our prerequisites there. And then it's no prerequisites there. That works. Like, let's go. Yeah, we're just going to double check that clicking around. That all works great. And it looks like everything's translated. This we're going to get to. Oh my God, he's just crying and crying and crying. Peter is. Oh, maybe he does know. No, it's because I looked at him. He's looking at me like, you're abandoning me. You don't love me. Fucker. All right, I'm going to call it a day, though. I'm going to push this code. Let's see. What did we need? A few more no, a bit more localization work, and now tiered research works, and the titles of their prereqs. The big issue is that the prereq, we need to have the prereq actually points, because we need to check to see if the prerequisite's done. We're going to push that to there. And that is it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will talk to you probably next weekend. I wish I had 3-day weekends every weekend. All right.